Yeah, mate.
Ah, Mark has more red cards and I don't know what.
How bad is it, by the way?
Terrible, isn't it? It just kills you. It ain't for the official, like for the game you're playing in. It's the next three after.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
trying to get your head around it. You just think, God, every time I feel like I've got something settled, if it ain't an injury, it's a suspension.
Get three back and then lose three.
Yeah, mad, isn't it?
When's the band start, mate?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Mm.
What, like, they all justified or not, Bill?
It's a real hard one, mate. It's a real hard one. The first one was never a red card. So as soon as that's happened, it's just escalated all over the place. Like, you go to them kind of bigger teams, they get everything. I was watching the game on I tell you earlier, Liverpool and City, those kicking chunks out of each other, and nothing. And this one, you put on, the first one was a yellow card. Yep, I take it. Second one was never a second yellow. If it was a yellow card before the other one, you'd be very hard done by. To get it as a second yellow and a red, it's never going to happen. Shouldn't happen, but it's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, no, I'll get you, mate. I couldn't believe it when I see it. That's why I messaged you earlier. Was it a mistake? 3-1 game.
Yeah, no, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I just felt sorry for the rest of the boys.
Yeah.
Because now you're playing with 8 men like 7 men on the pitch, one a goalkeeper, eight in total. It's just you've got no chance. It's embarrassing. It's really, really embarrassing for them. That's what hurt me.
Kept them out for a little bit though.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time, Dave. At the end of the day, you've got the back four and three in front. There's not much you can do. They're just putting balls in, and then you're so deep. They're picking up second balls, and then they're just putting the ball in every 10 seconds. The ball going in your box.
They scored 2 in the 50th minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's enough in the 50th minute as well. That's what web pages said, and I thought that's a bit strange.
No, we got sending off on. We got sent off on. I think it was like the 30th minute, 35, 35th, 35, and then 44 or something like that. And then they scored straight away in the 50th minute, and then they scored again in about 2 minutes after that. Yeah.
What?
How pissed are you, Paul?
No, I'm playing with the dog.
Oh, no, that's still a fair question. How pissed are you out of 10?
Yeah, the nice Liverpool street, so in a yeah, lovely.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
They're still up there, but I've come back to spend my time.
Well, welcome to the Reposs Manager's View. And I think this one's going to be quite interesting, to say the least. We've got red cards, we've got indecent exposure, we've got everything on this show tonight, and we've even got Paul half cut. So this could be quite good. So let's. Shall we start off with Paul before he dozes off on his chair and falls off? So
I'll strap myself in because it'll be a long one then.
Go on, mate. Tell us about your win.
What, yesterday? Well, yeah, really.
You're sounding like Norman Collier.
Yeah, your service ain't great,
all
mate.
the time.
Not good.
Now, let's move on, Dave. Let's move on from him.
It must be his link. Sorry, I don't know.
Cheers, Paul.
Right, is that any better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better. Go on.
Loud and clear, mate.
So as I was saying, it was important to get a win and a clean sheet after Tuesday night's fiasco. So I thought overall, Ellsbury got a new management team and probably some new players. So you know what it's always like when you play someone that's got a new manager. They want to impress, and I always thought it was going to be a tough game, but I think overall, I'm pleased with the performance. I thought, if I'm honest, we never looked like we was going to lose. We just needed to take our chances a bit more. and I said that to them at half time when it was 0-0. But we took the second half. I gave them a target. They hit that target in the first 15 and scored. So, and then basically it went from there, really. I don't think in the second half Ben had a lot to do. I know he kept us in it early doors in the first half. But really pleased, really. The response was good. But when you're playing teams like Hadley we did on Tuesday, like we got Leighton on next Saturday, and obviously we've got Hemel Hempstead on Tuesday, so we need to be at our best. And I just felt that, you know, when we create the chances, it was important that we created them. We just need to start finishing them again. And I think we should have won that probably 3 or 4-0. But, you know, fair play to the boys. They had I got a reaction. I gave them a little bit of a talking to on Thursday night at training, and yeah, I felt you know, Johnny started his first game. I thought it was unbelievable. Rashawn come back into the side, done really, really well. And to be fair to David, left back, come back. That's his first 80 minutes since we played Bedford in the pre-season friendly. So considering, you know, I'm still looking at our injury list, and you know, I felt that the boys done really well. So really pleased, really, really pleased. Felt like I say, I asked them to play on the front foot. They did that. And, you know, they took chances and they scored, but there's more chances they should have took and create and obviously score more goals. But listen, I'll take a clean sheet and 3 points any day.
So what went wrong midweek then?
I went on the bench again, so I was suspended. So every time we played Adley, I ain't been there. So I'm just saying that. Nah, listen, we were poor. I think Mark and Bill will agree with me that sometimes in the season, or definitely in the season, you're going to get a game where 11 players didn't turn up, and literally 11 players didn't turn up, and you know, Adley just took us apart. We were poor in every department. Every single department. And it's funny really, because I think that I walk around the ground, because obviously I weren't allowed in the dugout, and I see it more from I was like, I don't know really, it's hard to say, like a neutral, you know. And I see the game completely different from all angles of the pitch, and you know what I saw was worrying. And I addressed that on Thursday, but you know, we had a poor game Tuesday, and hopefully we won't be that poor again.
It's a good comeback, though, you know, to get a good eye in and then, you know, come back and get a good win.
Yeah, listen, like I say, they had to give us a reaction, and it was important they got a reaction. It was important to get a clean sheet. I don't care where Aylesbury might be in a league and whatever, but, you know, whoever you're going to play in our league, anyone can beat anyone, and it's been shown time and time again. So it was important to get that win, and we did. So I'll take that, but we need to be better, because when we're playing the likes of Leighton, etc., we need to be better.
I mean, we go through your game, a good 2-0 win, Paul, and then we jump into let's start with Mark, because I know when we talk to Billy's could be quite a long one. So Mark, I mean, your game at the weekend, I mean, you know, a draw again. Northwood seem to be a thorn in the side of this programme, especially with Ware and then with yourself. And you've had a bit of a fun game as well. So you're a little bit disappointed on the bench in your interview after the game, but you've had a really weird red card as well in the game, not to your side, but to Northwood. I mean, talk us through the game itself.
That one was weird as well, mate, to be fair. But yeah, the game itself, I think overall it's 2 points dropped. We lost to Marlow last week as well, which again, I think that's 3 points dropped, but in both games we had a man sent off. We've had a lot of sending offs lately. I think we've had 5 or 6 games. I think 2 of them are justifiable, 3 of them poor. You know, I think Paul was one of them. Failed in that. I've been told by my board I can't say too much about our red card today because we are thinking about appealing this one as well. Although we know we don't. Well, yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, the game itself. So yeah, we start off really well. I think the last 3 or 4 shows we've had have been really positive. You know, although Marlow we lost last week, I thought we were strong, was really good, we dominated. I'm really happy. few games before that, I was really happy with, but Northwood, I felt it was a very much a different game. They went into a mid block. They allowed us to have all the ball. And the guys don't really know much about football. They say, "Oh, well, they had a lot of the ball. They played really well." No, I'm a massive believer in that. Just because you have possession of the football doesn't mean you're the better team. For me, it's goal scored, chance on goal, that calculate who's the better team is. In my opinion, that is for sure. So I said the same thing about Leighton. Leighton, when we drew 1-1, they had a lot of the ball in the second half, but we allowed them to have the ball. So we played in a way that just set us up. So Northwood went into a mid block, which you have done previously. Watched them a few times, and they held us to counter attack with their wide men. And yeah, it worked for them. But like I said, we went 1-0 up in the first half, well, pretty early on. And the one thing you learn from a young age is that the next 5-10 minutes are most important, most vital. When you concede or score, you got to stay switched on. And literally a minute later, they get the corner. Not even a minute. I think it was from kickoff. 20 seconds later, they get the corner and they score from a corner free header. So they pegged us back straight away, which was frustrating, annoying. And then they got a lovely goal. The striker got a left foot. You give him half a yard or a yard in a box, any striker can take a goal, and they done that. But I said I'm interviewing as a better team. I'll always stand by that, just because I like the way their structure worked. They sat in a mid block and broke us, and it worked for them. It's from the start of the season. It's been the same thing where we're getting so many chances. And I know I'm going back on my word about a better team, but we are getting chances, but we're not finishing them. Steve Corley is one of my most experienced strikers. He's missed two chances from 3 yards out, and I'm not exaggerating there. From 3 yards out, you put your mortgage on him scoring them, both chances. We've had multiple other chances from other players, and if you look at the league table, I think I mentioned this in another show. The goals conceded is we're right in the thick of it in terms of the boys above us. I think I see the 20 goals. Yes, I want it less than that, but I think everyone in the playoffs conceded 18, 19. And you look at our goal score column, we've scored 21. There's only 4 other teams that have scored less, and that's at 16. Everyone else is above us, and it just shows where we're at with us. So we've got to do better in the final third. And you look at our front men, and you look at the names we've got. I honestly believe that on paper we've got the best strike force in the league. But that's on paper, and paper doesn't always suggest it's going to work. So we've got a lot to do going forwards. I am happy that we're creating chances, but I need to work out why we're not being ruthless enough to put it in the back of the net. So that's sort of I mean, Northwood had a chance there, and I don't know how the kids missed it from sort of 12 yards out, free volley, which would have won the game for them 3-2. So we're going gung ho to try and win the game, but without a shape behind us. So again, I'm looking at that from my experienced players, that when we are going for the win, a point is better than nothing, as we all know. So if you can't win the game, don't lose it. So we're going in a style which I need to correct and maybe organise better for myself in terms of personnel. Is that when we are going for the win, we make sure we have a structure at the back. So that's something I'm looking at as well. I thought, for me, I'm thinking I had enough experience in teams to sort that out, but obviously we haven't really. So, a lot of work needs to be done. But listen, I've been really happy the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Sometimes the result hasn't gone our way, some have. So that's the nature of football. But I do feel like Marlow and Northwood both struggling at the bottom of the table. I was looking for 6 points there, if I'm being totally honest with you. But as Paul alluded to earlier, anyone in this division could beat anyone. So it's just a fact, really. And the next 2 games were Aylesbury and MK Irish, who again, I know MK Irish have picked up lately, but had a bit of a fumbling on the weekend. And Aylesbury have, just lost to Paul. So, we'll see the next 2 games, but we've got to start winning. Got to go on a little bit of a run now.
Which is what you were saying. I mean, you've conceded 20, then Beaconsfield 22, Hadley 24, Biggleswade Town 20, Ware 28, Barton 17, Biggleswade 17, Hitchin 14, Hertford Town 19, and Leighton Town 11. But then, as you said, the only teams that have scored less goals than you this season are Flackwell Heath with 20, and they've played 2
less games.
Yeah, and then you've got Aylesbury United on 16, Dunstable 16, and Northwood 16, and Rainers Lane at the bottom on 10.
You got Enfield, I think third bottom. They've scored 21 as well. Haven't they?
Yeah.
They've scored the same as us. So that's our problem at the minute. And I didn't at the start of the season with the recruitment we had. I didn't think that'd be my problem. But I know it will come good. And everyone was saying it will come good. It'll come good. But it has to come. The chance we're having, it has to come good soon. And be consistent for the rest of the season. So it's just frustrating. And I'm sure it will come good. But when you got Josh Steele, who's a centre half, scoring a hat trick for Biggleswade Town, and they're bagging in 7 on the weekend, it's frustrating when you got a centre half just being ruthless, and I've got known strikers, real good strikers in their squad, not doing that, and it's frustrating.
I'm just looking at that table before we go to Billy. I mean, the one that shocked me, because I hadn't looked at it for a few weeks, he's sitting there and seeing Flackwell Heath right the way down in 15th.
Yeah.
It just shows what a cut run could do. They had a nice cut run, and they're only losing by the odd goal, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a difficult league, but like I say, having the games in hand is not always easy, and the cut run does take it out of you mentally as well. You're on a massive high, and then you come back and might be playing a team away who's nowhere near the standard you've been playing. Does that make sense? So it just shows sometimes the cut run can be a detriment to you.
I mean, look at it here. I mean, Hertford Town sitting second, 31 points. When there's no disrespect to Hertford Town, you don't normally see them up there in that sort of position for a few years. But I mean, if they were to lose their next game and everybody below them win, they drop down to 6th, 7th position in one game. It just shows you there's literally 2 points between Paul in 6th and Hertford in 2nd. That's just crazy.
It's really tight, but it's one of those where when you drop points, sort of everyone else sort of dropping points. You think that's a chance to actually put a stamp on the league. You know what I mean? So if we win a lot, that was 2 games, which on paper we should have done, we've been in the playoffs. But that's all ifs and buts, and that's the season.
So, mate. So one last question before we go to Billy for yourself. Talk us through what. I mean, because I've never seen, never filled in as a referee's report for it. But I know you don't want to talk about your, the club and asked not to talk about yours, and rightly so. But going off the pitch and going to the loo and getting a red card, I don't think I've ever had that before in a game. I don't know about anybody else, but getting
I've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, it's an annoying one for sure for a manager. It is in the rule book. I mean, like I said to you off air, that I had Josh Steele playing it for me against where he needed a pony, and he ran off when we scored a goal, thinking he had enough time, and then he come back on and he got it was a second yellow. So that's that.
I've heard of the yellow, but never given a red for it.
Yeah, the linesmen see it. I was in the gantry, and I didn't actually see him walk off for it, but the linesman's called the referee over, and you can tell the referee didn't want to give it to him. When the linesman did, he put his head down, his body language, he didn't want to send him off. But unfortunately, if it's in the rule book, it's in the rule book, and he's got to follow it. That being said, his name was Matthew Rowland, and for me personally, I can't stand referees, hate them all. He's actually the best ref we've had. I've had him a couple of times over the years, but he needs to coach and train every step for referee to how to talk to people. He openly apologized to our management team on the bench for a mistake he made, and we're all human, as I mentioned before. All referees are human; they can make mistakes, but it's the referees that have an ego who think they're always right. This referee opened up and said, "I made a mistake on certain fouls," and that's all you can ask for. He was talking. He can only talk at the right time. At the end of the game, I spoke to him about our red card, and he apologised if it's a mistake. He felt at the time it's right, whatever. But again, I'm not going too much into it. But he was a fantastic referee that owned up to his mistakes, takes it on the chin, and that's all you can ask from referees, honestly. So I'll sit here and say that if anyone's listening to this, referee needs to be coaching every single referee how to just conduct themselves with managers and managing the game properly, because he was fantastic, and he made mistakes, but he owned up to him. So I want a massive shout out to that. But yeah, it's a silly red card, Dave. One he'll learn from, and it's a silly rule, because if you go off to do a pony, or is it the team are down to 10 men, so that's all. Like, I'm not saying red card, but the team are now 10 men while he does a pony. It could last 2, 3, 4 minutes. The pony, you know what I mean? So
he's just got to ask, Mark. That's all he's got to do. He's got to tell the referee he's going, and he ain't going to get sent off.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you ask permission, then that's the rules. I'm afraid it might not be right, but You know, just tell them you're going to listen, ref, I've got to go. I'm in a bit of trouble. We've seen it in the pro game. Honestly, they've run out and all come in late out like that. It's just a case of asking, I think.
Well,
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. But talking about red cards, I mean, Bill, what a day.
I've had a bit of a week, mate. I've had a bit of a week. I can't remember the last time I lost 3 games of football, league games on the spin.
Yeah, like Mark, Bill.
I know, mate. I know.
What was that for? What did you say?
Nothing, mate. Nothing. Nothing.
I was starting to sound like you, Mark. You've actually nicked all my words, mate, because I'm not being funny. We're creating. I've never seen a team create so many chances, and we're not taking none of them. It's kind of it's really hard work. Like when you stand on the dugout and you're standing next to the other managers, and the players are asking them, "What do we do?" And the managers are just putting their hands out and just saying, "Just work harder, just work harder." And it's like they do not know how to deal with us. And then we're missing a chance, missing a chance, missing a chance, then missing a chance. And you're looking at it and thinking, how many chances can we miss till they kind of punish us? They get one chance, score, then they get another chance, score. And that's how our week has been going, especially at Cambridge. And then we went into Lowestoft where they scored after 2 minutes from a mistake from us. Then the rest of the game, we've probably created 7, 8 good opportunities to score. I finally got one, and then our centre halves won a header on the halfway line. The geezers cleared his lines, lobbed that goalkeeper from 40 yards. You lost the game 2-1, and it kind of feels like our luck's kind of just not going for us at the minute. Our main men ain't stepping up and scoring goals. Yeah, so it's been quite an hard week. It's been quite an hard week, and then we had the pleasure to pump up and get ready for Malden. Where training Thursday was brilliant. First time I've had an eye on everyone there in training. We work through what they do, how vulnerable, where they're vulnerable, and so on and so on. And then when we got there, do you know what? I'll give Malden all the credit. What they've done is brilliant. It makes everyone want to go there and want to kind of raise their levels. So I take my hat off to them for that kind of for the side of things in football. But when you get there, in the changing room, you do your team talk. You got what I do is I kind of put loads of things on my board that I take, sort of highlighting and pointing out this is where they're strong, this is where they're weak, this is what they do, blah blah blah. This is how we're going to beat them. This is our game plan, so on and so on. And I was really confident. It's the first time I've looked at the squad and thought, yeah, we can't lose this game today. And I put on the board, as long as we've got 11 men still on this pitch, we'll win this game of football. And I kind of said it 2 or 3 times in the changing room that's what needs to be done. We need that because everyone's going to be against us. No one's going to like that we're going to come to their ground and control the game and have the lion's share of possession. They just won't. They won't like it. As I walked out, said hello to him. Good as gold. The referee said hello, mate. Nice to meet you. I said, ref, I've known you for about 5, 6 years, and then he just completely walked past, blanked me, started talking to them. So I've kind of highlighted to the boys again. We're up against it today, boys. So let's kind of get in it. First 30 minutes, we controlled the game, created 4 or 5 good opportunities. And then the chaos started. We got a yellow card. Then 5 minutes later, my same player got another yellow card. So now we're down to 10. So I kind of regrouped them, no problem. 2 minutes later, we're down to 9. Both benches are trying to attack each other. So really, really messy. They've got 500-600 people there watching. So the kind of ref was under a lot of pressure, and he just folded, just completely and utterly folded. Just give them everything. Everything they asked for, he give them. And credit to them, they punished us, put us under pressure. They scored from a corner. Then my other centre half got sent off soon after, and then we're down to 8 men. So the team talk in half time was, boys, let's get to a number where it ain't too embarrassing. I apologise on behalf of the 3 players that have been sent off, and I apologise that you're going to be embarrassed today, because I know I am. I know I'm going to stand on that sideline and I'm going to want the world to swallow me up, because I know we had them. We had them. They didn't have no answers for us. I said, so let's find a number that we're happy with. I'm happy with 6. If we can kind of get to 6, and they're going, "Now, Gaff." I said, "Look, we've got 7 outfield players. We're not going to get in there off. So at the end of the day, let's just kind of go out there and just kind of do what we can do for each other." And then they just kept on peppering us. Good team. They punished us, and we defended as hard as we could. And I was actually really, really proud of the boys when they come off the pitch. Very, very disappointed with the 3 that got sent off. But I understand it. If I was on that pitch, I probably would have got sent off myself, for the lack of it, because you're just embarrassed. The boys said they was just standing there and you're just so embarrassed. You've got people laughing at you, and they're just saying, "Let's get another one, let's get another one." And they're just trying their hardest to kind of hit the target that we kind of set at half time. So that was my week.
I've got a question for you on Tuesday night though. How do you pick Brad's head up, in the dressing room, or did you have to pick his head up in the dressing room from, not making that mistake earlier on, then sort of getting back in it, and they sort of bailed him out a little bit with, managed to get back in the game, and then right at the very end again, he's off his line a little bit and wasn't expecting it to be hit, as you said, from 40 yards and goes over his head again. I mean, did you have to pick Brad's head up, after that game?
Not really. I don't ever blame my goalkeepers. They make a mistake, they get punished. That's the kind of game they're in. If you're a forward, you miss a chance, you get away with it. No one really says nothing. You miss another chance, you've had a bad day. Midfielders the same. Defenders make a mistake. Sometimes they've got people covering them. Goalkeepers, they're by themselves. The second goal, I asked Bradley to play high. I asked us to squeeze the pitch. I asked us to press and dominate the ball to win it back very quickly. So if someone shoots from that distance and scores, it kid never do it again. It's just one of them things. It's just that's how our luck is at the minute. It's just kind of rallying them up and going again. We're in a poor position. We're 11th in the league. So it's just okay. We just got to focus now and try to get to them playoffs positions.
So I mean, you got Takeley on Tuesday night. I mean, it's just a matter now just getting them all regrouped, because sort of training session between sort of Saturday and Tuesday for you. So is it just a matter of regrouping everybody, see who's sort of right for the game?
Yeah. It's been hard. We've had a lot of Saturday Tuesdays. We touched on it earlier. Mark did, about when you have a decent cup run. We had 2 decent cup runs, and then what happens is the games pile up Saturday Tuesday. You don't get a lot of chance to work on anything. I'm very big on working on things. So every team I play against, I like to have one session on how we attack them and one session how we defend against them. But we've been having to try to rush them in on a Thursday for the Saturday games, and then when the Tuesday comes, trying to do it on the board in the changing room. So it's been very, very difficult. But saying that, we've dominated every game of football we've played in. We just haven't been good enough in front of goal. So, and then in the other box we haven't been. So in both boxes we're lacking at the minute.
But I mean, still, you're quietly confident. I mean, Abbey fans, that as you said, you've not lost 3 games on the bounce. But I mean,
Make playoffs. We're too good not to make playoffs, and I don't mean that big-headedly. The players that I've got are ridiculous. The squad that I've got is ridiculous. As soon as it comes back, I don't think I'll ever get a fully fit squad. But if I get close to it, we just need to put a run together. We're not far off the playoff points. If we put 2 or 3 games together, 3 wins together, we'd be 5th, 4th. And I'm quite confident by Christmas we'll be in touching distance to where we need to be.
So I mean, for people that are watching it, with the players that got sent off, I mean, how many games will they be suspended for? Do you know? And when they start?
The 2 centre halves will be missing 1 game. That starts Saturday, and the forward will be missing 3 games. That starts Saturday.
And then it's just hope to get some more back to cover that, yeah?
Yes. It's a juggling act. I'm a little bit concerned because I've normally got the most amount of pace through the wide flanks, and I haven't got that at the present minute. So it really we really struggle when we play against the top teams, because that's the way that I always seem to kind of come out on top. We play in them areas, we isolate 1-on-1. So it's kind of I'm sitting on the fence what to do. Do I keep bringing in more and more firepower? I'm giving the boys a good opportunity at the minute, and we're 11th. So it's really frustrating. Or do I stick with what I've got and hopefully we turn a corner?
And you will. You all
Yeah,
will.
yeah, we will, we will, we will. It's just what decision I'll go with.
Well, Paul, just I heard you say you got Hemel Hempstead on Tuesday night, so I'll have a word with Lee for you tomorrow night because he's on the show tomorrow night. So I will see what how seriously he's taking it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, they lost, didn't they, Saturday, and then they got a game, I think a big game on Saturday. So we'll see. So tell him I've just got 8 players on loan from Arsenal or something like that.
Yes, I'll see what he says if he's not watching. If he's not watching tonight, well, I mean, are you three guys? We've all sort of like red cards and God knows what else. I mean, are you guys? Sometimes you come on and you're really bubbly. Other times it's been a bit of a nightmare week. But I mean, in all fairness, with the three teams, I mean, are you all sort of you're still confident of those playoff positions at the end of the season because it's still early and you're all in and around it. So I mean, are you still all confident of maybe a South Central final being Wellington City Ware and Wolverhampton Abbey in their final as well?
I'm confident. Yeah, listen, like Billy said, if we can put 3 or 4 wins together, it's a consistency, isn't it? If you put those string those wins together, it changes. And I've got the squad to do that. It's just I want it to come out soon.
I think Mark's been on the booze, Dave, to be fair. He's got no.
Say that without laughing, Paul.
Are you confident now, Paul?
Listen, it's early days, and like the boat that said, look at us the other day. 6 games, 7 unbeaten games on the trot, 6 were wins, put us right up top. A couple of defeats, drop you back down. So it's a long way to go. A lot of games to be won and lost. And if Viking keep a fully strength team, then I think we've got a good chance. If we don't, it has a knock-on effect, I'm afraid. So listen, I have to be confident, and I've said to the boys, I think they're good enough, and they've just got to keep doing the right things. But the last couple of games, other than yesterday, we weren't doing it the right way. So, like I say, it's a lot of twists and turns in the season.
Be careful that credit card, Paul. Are you signing now? Another player?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I was writing them numbers down. I was.
You're live, mate. Be careful.
Don't need it. Big money on the other.
There's the budget. There's the budget.
That's because to see all that is because all the other people bought in the booze.
That's the wit.
He's the tightest geezer. He's the tightest geezer ever.
I did buy around in London, to be fair. It is not cheap up there, I can tell you.
1 round in 8 hours boozing. Yeah.
It was 12.
Well, listen, guys, a massive thank you for joining us again tonight. I really do hope it goes a lot better for you when we speak this time next week. But until then, a massive thank you to Billy, to Mark, and to Paul, and we'll see you all next week.